Hey everyone, this is Corinne Lafont, your favorite radio host, your only radio host on Between the Lines, broadcasting to you again from Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm doing a special series on saluting dads. And I reached out to a couple of men. One of them is here with me. This is the second in the series of recordings. I just finished the first one, so I'm on a roll. I'm hanging with the guys today, so all you women, you should be jealous that I'm hanging with these guys today, and they're all handsome. Okay, they're all handsome. Yeah. Oh, right. And we're going to be on for 15 minutes, so we're going to make this quick and juicy. And it's really about changing the perception of men. Now, while these guys might be the good ones, I know that's what you're going to be saying. These are the good ones. All the bad ones are not on my show. You know, they're really not no bad ones and good ones. Okay, I mean, some people just probably need some help. They need some mentoring. They need some guidance. They need support, whatever it is. But Eric is going to be talking with us about what we as women, need to do to help these men. We have a responsibility. We are the one that produce these men. Remember, we give birth to these men, and we have a responsibility too. And it's not just a matter of bashing the guys. While we feel good about doing that, it's temporary, and we have to be real. We have to coexist. We have to work together. And so we want to really change the perception of dads, of men. We just celebrated Father's Day in 2018, and I am doing this as a way of giving back, and of course it's also, I guess, a motive, if somebody might think about it, for me to get in good with the guys. So I don't know if it works. Kudos to me, but that was not the ulterior motive, but I just came up with that. So Eric G. Reid is on with me, and he's going to tell us a bit about himself and why he thinks he's all that and a bag of chips. Why he should be the one being on this Saluting Dad series, talking about saluting dads and changing the perception. Why is that, Eric, with your nice hairdo?
Well, I could say first, when an island woman says I look good, I feel good.
Yay!
I'm taking that compliment from all the island women today.
Oh, nice.
What I will say is, I guess I get to be a super dad because I've raised over 436 children. How's that?
All of those are yours biologically? Hell no. When did you find the time to make all those children?
No, I have been a foster parent and an adoptive parent now. And so when I tease that I have over 436 children, no, they're not all mine biologically. But what I learned along the journey helped me be a better dad at the end.
Well, I would think 437 children, I would think that, you would have learned something, because those of us with one or two still struggling. So 437 in. Tell us what you have learned. What do you need to tell these fathers? What do you need to tell these men? When did you start adopting?
Well, we adopted 2 children 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And so up until then, every kid that came through was on a foster care or through services that I worked with. Mm-hmm. Of the 436 kids, I will tell you this, dads, not one of them was like any other one. And there were twins mixed in that group.
Wow.
And what I had to start to learn as a dad was, even in the foster dad role and as a dad, was I had to set my expectations, my desires, my wants, my needs for what I wanted the kid to look like, be like, and act like, mm-hmm. way to the edge. Mm-hmm. So that the child could have space to emerge into being who they were. I think sometimes as dads, we come in with this, we want our boys to be strong and shoulders back, play sports and be military and disciplined, and all of the hard edges. And we want our daughters to be soft and cuddly and cute and pink and lambs and things like that. And when we walk into our relationships with adults with expectations, they push back. Mm-hmm. Other adults will be like, I don't know why you expected that of me. That's not who I am. But yet we think we can do the same with children and succeed. And so what I had to learn was like, wait, though I have expectations of how I expect you to behave, I can't expect you to be somebody that you're not programmed by divine to be. And I've got to be willing to set aside all my ego and expectations, and you're my firstborn son, so you have to be this way. I have to be willing to set all of that aside long enough for you to emerge into who you're going to be. And then my job is to guide you into being the best you.
You say something there, Eric. Ego. Putting aside your ego. Now, you know a man's foundation is on his ego. To me, coming from a woman's perspective, everything is around their ego. And I am like, you know, for a man to let go of his ego and step outside themselves and say, I want you to be the best version of you. It's not a matter of you being what I want you to be. It's what you want to be. And I'm here to help you to become that. It's not a matter of what I want. It's what you would want so that you can live happy. You can have joy in your life. You're not living for me and I living vicariously through you. So if I didn't have something, you better do it because I didn't get it. You know, that's how your parents will. I didn't get a university degree. I didn't get to become a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher or whatever. So you better do that. You know, I missed out on that, so you do that. That has been how we have been trained. So for a man to let go of his ego and allow another human being, a child of his, whether biological or adoptive or otherwise, to be who they want to be, it takes a special type of person, and I'm saying you're very special to be able to do that. And where did that sort of trait or characteristic come from in you to be able to allow, to release that?
I don't think it takes a special person. I think it takes a special place.
Yes.
And I think that's where women have, or wives or mothers have a critical role, because as women, you guys, you ladies have success in a different way. You communicate, you live, you find joy in different ways than men. But men have always been programmed from generation to generation, going back to the fishermen at the sea, of how big we can catch is how much we're worth.
Yeah.
How much we can bring home, how strong our shoulders are, and how big the catch is defines us. Whereas women have learned to define themselves through their actions and their emotions and their communities and their conversations. And so it doesn't take a special man to let go of the ego. It takes a place where he can say, no longer is this the only value I bring to the relationship. As a husband, as a son, as a brother, as an uncle, as a father. I am being validated and affirmed and lifted up because I sat on the floor and cried with my son, not because I went out and got the biggest fish at sea.
Let's go a bit back here now. I am thinking you have adopted 436 or 37 kids. That, you know, I could imagine what Christmas looks like. I mean, I really, right. You know,
we're not all still in the house. You know, this has been over 15 years.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If I was one of your kids, I'm coming over every Christmas. So, you know, Christmas and Thanksgiving and holidays, and when I feel to drop by, you know, I have so many siblings to call. You know, my phone book, I can't have any space for friends. My phone book is made up of 400 and something siblings, right? But going back now to your father, what type of father, and I'm getting into your business here, what type of father, bring it on, I love you, Eric. What type of father was he to you that influenced the person that you are now? Because I mean, is he still alive?
So I have two fathers, you could say. My mother remarried when I was young, so I have my biological dad, and then I have my father, who is my stepfather. I identify more closely with my stepfather because he entered my life at a different time, when I was about 8 or 9. And so that is when I think, as all children, we begin to connect with our outside world, our family, our friends, our parents, and we seek our own identity. So I stand closer to him, for not out of disrespect, just out of experience. He and I had a very disconnected relationship growing up. It was very strained. He was not an emotional person. He was not a hugger. He was not one who would say, great job, well done, keep going. He was not an encouraging dad. And I always struggled to try and catch up and figure it out. And I mean, I was always running behind him, just hoping for one day of like, good job, success.
Yeah.
It was not until I reached adulthood and he and I sat down and had a discussion one day, and I realized that his father had been absent because he grew up in Germany. He was in the war. His father was, my dad actually grew up during World War II. So my grandfather was gone for 8 years of his life. He lived in a war-torn area. So what my father had learned from 8 until 12 to 15 was how to survive. Keep your head down, keep going, don't share, don't talk, just get the job done. And he thought that was the lessons I needed to learn. When I could see how he was fathered, I understood how he had fathered me. And I was able to give the grace and be like, you know what? No harm, no foul. I get it now. I know what toolbox you were working from.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's all you had.
Yeah.
So when I talk about generational fatherhood, we all come into it with the only reference we have of the person that raised us, unless we intentionally seek out other references.
Now that brings me to the woman now. I'm going to bring in the woman in here. You meet a man. I meet you. Yeah? I like you.
Oh.
And that's a good start. I like you. And we don't take the time as women to understand the past of the man, because we're like, why is he like that? Why is he answering me this way? Why, what is going on? I see you, I'm attracted to you, but your behavior is just a reflection. And so, I am going through right now in my life, after coming out of a separation about 3 years ago, a 27-year relationship. 3 years ago, I was separated. And I'm back now in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm telling you, I'm broadcasting because I was living in Jamaica for 21 years. And I am looking outside of myself now. I'm on a journey right now. And I'm looking at where the influence has come to make me the person that I am, why I react a particular way. So it's a lot of discovering of myself. Somebody meeting me may not take the time to understand that. But I am in a point where I'm trying to understand that of other people, other men that are coming into my life, and knowing that the person that I was with was a toxic relationship. I'm seeing, I can recognize the signs going into another relationship, but I'm also looking at, just as how I'm looking at the influence of my mother, who's still alive, into my life and why I am the way I am and what I need to correct. I am also looking at that person, that man coming into my life and saying, but if my mother has influenced me this way and my father who passed on has influenced me this way, then the same thing would have happened to the man who's coming into my life, which is what made him who he is, which is the person that I'm facing, which is you, Eric, if I'm in love with you or I like you. So just as how you said, when you sat with your father and you realize this is who he became and he didn't have anything else to work with. So, that's who he is. Going into a relationship with a man, we have to dig deeper into understanding how he became how he is the way he is. Spend time with the family. Tell me about that in terms of on a relationship level to help.
I think there's a couple points that you bring up, and I want to dive in real deep on them because I see this as a coach and a counselor, and I see this as a man. That one, women think they can fix anything. And so even if they see a man that's tattered and torn,
hello, Eric. Eric, we have an S on our chest. We have an S on our chest, and we have the cape to go with it. Okay?
Yeah. But if you come into the relationship incomplete, and you say, I'm only 70% sure of who I am, I only like 60% of what I am, and I'm only 50% grown into the woman I'm going to be, and then you look across the table and there's a man that's showing up at 50 or 40%, and you're like, okay, I'm going to fix him. Where do you have the tools, talents, and the things you can bring into? It's like, wait, you're pulling from an almost half-empty bucket, and you're going to pour that into another person and fix it and expect to end up with a full relationship?
Mm.
So if you come into it and you're like, you know what, I'm 100% confident of who I am, what I believe, what I know, what my values are, you'll attract men that are at least close to that 100%. And if they're not, then look across the table and say, you know what, I don't need to fix you because I see you're on your own journey of growth. I see you're on your own journey of discovery. I see you as growing into who you can be. And I want to join alongside you in that journey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be your guide. I don't want to be your teacher. I don't want to be your fixer.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be your companion.
Mm-hmm.
And so often I see relationships go wrong because we enter thinking that this person will make me whole.
Yeah.
No person can make you whole.
It works in the reverse too. The men see you across the table and they feel they could fix you or change you into who they think you should be because they have a perception of who you should be.
And then if they're placing, and this goes back to the expectation conversation, if they're placing an expectation on who you should become, mm-hmm. then I'm like, thank you for the free dinner. I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye. I'll see you later. Because I have to set the expectation of who I'm going to become. I and my divine and my faith are the only people that can define who I'm going to become. Now, if you look across and say, man, you're a gem, you're beautiful, yeah. You're energetic, you're joyful, you're happy. I would love to see what that looks like in the environment of a marriage and in the environment of a mother and a grandmother and a great-grandmother.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what that experience is going to be like with you.
Yeah.
Without actually asking you to change who you are, then that's the man you want to say, hey, let's turn this into something serious. Yeah. But if he looks across the table and says, you know what, I think you're pretty good at this and this, and if you could only learn to do this better or that better or fix this or fix that, we'd be great. You know that relationship is going to be constantly under repair.
Yeah.
And he's always going to be working on you and never working on himself.
Yeah.
And you're going to end up with a shell of a man because he's not growing on his own.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a significant point. I love that. And that's a great place to end. I mean, we could talk about this, Eric. I am so serious. I need to bring you guys back. You know, I'm having so much fun hanging with the men. I need to stop having women on my show. But
see, you've changed all the perception of the women on the island. There are men out there that can still think and act with kindness.
There are some juicy men out there. I'm not even saying men. There's some juicy men out there, and I know they're there. And there are people who are telling me that all the men, you know, like the single men are taken, and it's hard to find a man. It might be hard. It might be difficult, you know, because they're saying all the good ones are taken and they're putting that thought in your mind. I don't want to believe that. I want to believe that there is a man who's single and looking, you know, wants the same thing as you want to build. They're out there.
And I will tell women, nothing spoils the water more than desperation.
Yeah.
So if you are out looking for a man, you start from a position of lack and desperation. Mm-hmm. You go out, you live your life bold, big, beautiful, in abundance. You sing your song, you live your joy, you dance your song, and you will attract men falling over themselves to be around you. And then you get to line them up and go, which one stood up when I left the table? Which one sent me flowers? Which one said thank you?
Yeah. Wow. Eric, I love you. Oh my God. You need to invite me over for Thanksgiving, for Christmas. I am coming over to your house.
No, I'll come to the island. I am at heart an island child. I love the ocean. I love the sea.
Oh my God. No, we gotta make it.
I've been to the beautiful Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago, and I will tell you, men, you're looking for women that know how to love a man. Go find an island woman.
Island woman is the way to go. Island woman is the way to go. Some nice heat in the islands. Oh my God. I would love to meet 400 and something kids. I am so serious. I am going to put that on my list. Eric, you have to make it possible. I need.
And I will have to say, in all disclosure, I don't know where all 436 of them are, because some were for a day, some were for a week, some were for a lot
It doesn't
longer.
matter.
Our house was much like a movie theater. It was like every time we turned around, there was a different show playing.
It's going to happen. I don't care if it's 400 or 436, but I would love to be in a room with all of them.
Oh, now you scared me. I haven't thought about it in that way for a while.
Yeah, you see, so it's possible. I'm seeing it, and once I'm seeing it, it's very possible. I am going to be in a room with all of them. I am so looking forward to that, and it could be on a beach. It doesn't have to be in a room, because
I'll take that.
all right, it could be on a beach. We take off for the beaches. That would be awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, Eric. You have shared so much here with me today. The conversation was off the charts. I mean, this is awesome. This is awesome. I have to have you back on my show.
Anytime you need me, reach out and let me know. I am here for you.
Yes. Oh my God. That is just so. Which man could tell you that? Which man could tell you that? Anytime you need me, just reach out. I'm here for you. Guys, listen up. Learn from Eric G. Reid. Thank you so much, Eric, for being on Between the Lines.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon, everyone.